Okay, so what's our topic today? So we're gonna be talking about forgiveness. You sure? Like we're gonna talk about this?
Are we just gonna jump
Because
into this, or are we gonna like do the formal introduction?
I don't know. Okay. So I'm just gonna like ask you to introduce yourself. Okay,
Yes.
so Pooja is my bestie from Malaysia, and let's hear it.
Hello,
Okay, Pooja.
everyone.
Okay,
Hello, everyone.
sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. You're gonna have to edit all of this out. Anyway, um, hi everyone in the internet. I'm Pooja. I am Asma's best friend. I met this lovely person one fine evening in KL. I forgot where. We were in a club. She has changed very much since then. I've seen her go through so much, and I'm so glad to be on this podcast today. Yeah.
Okay, nice. We met in Gravy Baby the first time around, like, and we were like sharing fries together
Mm-hmm.
with two of our other best friends.
We did. Oh my God.
Oh,
Such
God,
a long
good
time ago.
times.
I know.
Yeah.
So tell me, Asma, what's on your mind today?
Okay, so like we were talking about this, right? So we brainstorm about a bunch of ideas of what we're gonna talk about like our podcast, and this is gonna be the first um video that we're gonna do together, and we're gonna like try out. And the first topic we're gonna talk about is forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your idea about forgiveness, Miss Pooja?
Well, Miss Asma, I think forgiveness is something that we all talk about. We've been talking about since we were little kids. We've been told to forgive people when they do bad things to us. Easier said
Mm-hmm.
than done.
Yeah.
But I think as we grow into adulthood, I think it's important to sometimes just let things go, especially if it's difficult for us, just to make our lives a lot smoother. I think, yeah, that's my take on it. How about you?
Yeah, well, I think forgiveness has a lot to do with like internal um, acceptance because when it comes to forgiving people, it really takes a lot of strength within like oneself to execute it because when you are in so much emotions, especially anger or like some kind of hatred or whatever, it can be very hard for us to just like forgive a person. So it does takes a lot of strength and courage for us to forgive someone. And it's I feel like everybody preach about forgiveness, but they don't really know what it means. I mean, maybe I also don't know what it really means because I can forgive someone, but like whenever I remember about what this person did to me, I'll be like, excuse me, you you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess
I
that's
see.
my take about it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I agree with that, especially the part of, sometimes not being able to do it consistently because it's always good to forgive, but I think we should always remember what caused it in the first place so that we don't do it a second time around, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But like I just had this like idea of talking about like forgiving ourselves because I think like it's important for us to forgive what we have done first to ourselves so that we don't mm, stay in that state of anger to ourselves, that it's hard for us to forgive other people as well because a lot of insecurities or mean things that we do to people. Okay, I'm like using super simple English here. I'm so sorry. Like we do uh, mean things to other people just because that's who we are. We're like super insecure inside, so we project our insecurities to other people. So I think when we forgive ourselves first, it's hard for us to project um, hatred to the others because you only know love and forgiveness.
Mm. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I
Yeah, so
absolutely
like,
agree.
yeah, okay, thanks. So what do you think about this? Like, forgiving yourself first before forgiving others.
I think That's actually something I'm going through at this very moment, actually. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a great thing we're doing this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Um, I would say forgiving oneself is actually a lot harder than forgiving someone else because we're always harder on ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah, that's true.
But I also think it's a work in progress. Maybe one
Mm-hmm.
day you'll be making a stride forward, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe another day you might take a few steps back. And I think we shouldn't be like abusing ourselves because of it. It's a process. It's not
Yeah.
about getting to the end of it. It's about, enjoying it on the way, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I also think like it's hard to like forgive ourselves. Like when you say we're normally harder on ourselves, it's because like um especially when we do a lot of like not pretty things, like things that we are not proud about. So we tend to stay in dwell in the mistakes. So that was the word that I was looking for. Like we tend to dwell in our past and our mistakes, and then we're like, we identify on those characters and behavior instead of striving for change to be better. And I think that forgiving ourselves in that part will allow us to open the door for forgiveness to other people as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So I'll just ask like the next question for you. Like, um, is it fair for us to, especially when we're already trying to improve our best, is it fair for us to like be so hard on ourselves still? As
Hmm.
in, like, we don't really like, yes, we forgive our mistakes, but like we still beat ourselves up on that part. But like, do you think that's fair to us?
I mean, in an ideal perfect world, I don't think we should be doing that, but we're only human, right?
Yeah.
Because our actions can say one thing and what we say to other people can mean something else. It doesn't always
Yeah.
align. I think I think more than forgiving oneself is important to be kind to yourself as well.
Yeah.
Like always make room for space to stumble, to fall down,
Hmm.
and just be kind to yourself when you get back up again, because life is difficult. Sometimes there are things that we would never expect to happen. It shows up in front of our face, and
Hmm.
we can't always stick to a strict moral code as much
Hmm.
as we want to. So I guess be prepared for the unexpected lah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is true. Like, it's not always easy to forgive, but from your experience, like, I'll share mine later. Like, I'll ask you first. But like, what's the hardest thing that you have to forgive on like
Well,
anyone or on yourself or something? So like, if you don't mind sharing this story, and no, it doesn't have to be like personal. Like, maybe if you don't mind sharing the story.
no, it's absolutely fine. Um, I think the timing of this is a bit ironic. I'm not going to name any names,
Hmm.
but I would say forgiving myself from past relationships. It's a theme that has been very strong over the last 12 months. And although there are some things that I would badly like to, reverse time and do things differently, I can't. Physically impossible unless you're maybe Doctor Who, some kind of TV show. I acknowledge what I have done in the past. It's not all pretty. I try not to blame the other person as well. If it's possible, make peace with them if they're still in your life. And if you don't want to be reminded of the past, maybe take a temporary break and do everything in your power to improve yourself. Just to distance yourself from it and hopefully make a better week, a better tomorrow, better year. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay. Yeah, okay. So for me, it has like a lot to do with forgiving. myself as well, myself, because I know that in the past I always blame my environment for like not knowing better, because I should have learned from my mistakes, but it took me a while to be able to um, understand that what I did was wrong, and considering like it is also hard for me to forgive certain family members, especially those extended family members. It plays a role in the way that I treat myself and also treat other people. So, yeah, those were like some of the hardest thing that I have ever had to do, is like just accepting that what was done to me by those people were like, those are not nice, but also to forgive myself for, for projecting those insecurities to other people previously when I didn't know better. And also, like, I think now that I learn more and more, I'm like, what, 20? I'm turning 27. I'm turning
Okay, pause,
27 this
pause,
year.
pause, guys. Can anyone believe that this woman is turning 27? I mean, look at her.
Oh my God, Pooja, I'm turning 27. But like,
I
yeah,
know.
I can't believe it. Okay, like I'm turning 27, and I feel like I have only started to mature since I moved out to live alone. And from there, I learned everything about myself. I get a lot of time to self-reflect. And God, it's so hard. Like even right now, I'm still so hard on myself, but I try to be like to think a little bit more positively instead of just punishing myself even for the silliest, smallest mistake that I do. And yeah, I think, yeah, sometimes I know I have bad dreams about these family members that that used to really treat me badly and like say very nasty things to me. And whatever those words that were thrown to me, I still think about it, and sometimes I feel like I'm still not worthy of the things that I achieved just because of the things that the people said previously. And yeah, it has been that's like one of the hardest thing for me to move on from and to forgive. But now that I know better, I'm like, yeah, it's the past now. You can't do anything about it anymore, no matter how hard you try to make things right in the like make the past right. You can't. You just have now. You can apologize and forgive yourself for what you have done, but learn from it, learn from the mistakes, and you know grow from it and move on. Now that you know better, move on doing better. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. I
Yeah.
have a question for our host today.
So
So, how has it been easier for you to forgive yourself after you moved out and started living alone?
it's just because I wouldn't say that it has been easier. It's like it has been a challenge. It was a challenge, and it still is an ongoing thing, because sometimes like I mentioned, it still runs in my mind. I still get like bad dreams about it. But because like when I was alone, I managed to think so many things, and I base a lot of opinions just thinking that I'm the only person that's going to be affected by this now, because I need to take care of myself, I need to survive, and I'm alone, and I can't really put any like trouble to other people like my friends that I know. And I have a lot of time to self-reflect and um okay, what's the word for it? And analyze whether like this thing is good to do or not. And the more that I learned about myself without those external noises coming, I feel like, wait, I am worthy. Those are just the words of the people um, that, have no life. They just know how to hate. So, yeah, I think it's the fact that I can just sit in peace alone without noises and without people always telling me that I'm not good enough, that has made it so much easier for me to just forgive myself. Like you didn't know better, and it was all just, well, it was all just like the like bad words from haters who doesn't know anything better to do with their life. So yeah,
Mm, I see. Wow.
yeah. And like, and how about you?
Hmm. I think I have a similar experience with you when it came to living alone. I feel like once you're out of the environment that you feel you're stuck in,
Mhm.
you at first you feel this sense of freedom. Oh, there's no one here to criticize me. I can do anything I want. In my case, I went a bit crazy because I was I think 17 when I first left home. This was before COVID. So understandably, I had all of these things near me that I didn't have in my kampong. I went crazy. Not too crazy. But then after some time, I felt a void, to be honest. Like I started missing the old environment that used to suffocate me so much. You
Oh.
can call it like Stockholm syndrome or something. I don't know what it's called. But
Yeah.
I wound up going back to it actually.
Mm.
It's like I was inflicting that pain upon myself again, even though I had the option to leave. I
Yeah.
think it also had to do with my age, because
Mhm.
I'm young. I want something that is safe. We all do.
Yeah.
So I think that's also a part of forgiving oneself. You are going to take a few steps back sometimes, and it's important to just be kind to yourself. After that,
Mm.
I would say as I grew older and after COVID, it got a lot easier. I found my people, and even though they are like halfway across the world right now, as this woman is, I know that I am very much loved still, and it keeps me going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, that's true. To be honest, when you find your people, like to when you find the right people to be like your support pillars, life just become much, it just makes sense more now. It just makes more sense now. Like why am I everywhere? Like it makes more sense now. And yeah, like likewise, I think before this I was like, I need to make friends who, I need to talk every day to, and they need to always tell me that they love me or else they don't actually love me. But yeah, and that makes it so much easier for me to forgive and accept that what has happened and happened. What had happened had happened. Sorry, Pooja. It's like, is this even my friend? Why is her English like this bad?
Please, just do your thing. It's fine.
Yeah. Also, like, I want to add on to that because, like, once I have, you know, managed to, like, forgive myself and accept life as it is now, I start to become more comfortable with my own company. Like I love being alone, and even though I'm isolated, I don't feel lonely. I think like you mentioned, maybe when we were young, it's like a little bit hard for us because like when we are young, we're a little bit like all over the places. But my frontal lobe has fully developed like 2 years ago. So so yeah, I think that has contributed to the fact that I have started to be more comfortable in my own company, in my isolation. So yeah, COVID had like almost zero impact on me because I'm like, I don't care. I love being alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'd just like to interject a bit because I am so envious that your frontal lobe has already existed because I'm still waiting. It's one more year left. I can't wait for life to get easier.
It's worth
But
it. Trust me, it's worth it.
oh, I can't wait. But also, when you mentioned how your experience was during COVID, I had a vastly different experience to yours. Like you said, you were comfortable in your isolation, right?
Mhm.
I absolutely couldn't stand it. Not being around people like actually affected me. That's the first time because growing up, I was actually a really quiet kid. I mean, I think you can believe it, but it was a lot worse back then. And
Yeah.
I felt like a sort of personality switch because once no one else was around me, I couldn't stop talking. I really couldn't stop talking, and I drove my parents insane. I really did. I'm so sorry, Amma and Appa, if you're watching somewhere on YouTube. But yeah,
Yeah.
it it's different for each person, I guess. And we read all of these self-help books, and sure, it has its place, but I think we should also remember that one size isn't going to fit all of us. And well, I guess it's a process of life. You figure out what works for you. Like you're going to fall, you're going to get back up. You learn as you go.
Okay. That is so true. Yeah, I think maybe COVID has like changed your personality from like an introvert to an extroverted person. And then like it's completely the opposite for me. And then suddenly I'm like, I do not like to talk, guys. Do not approach me. It's kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's a really good insight also. But yeah, maybe we can like give our final thought on forgiveness.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, final thought wise. Since we are both in our 20s,
Yeah, I'm not yet in my
okay,
30s.
of course not. God. Anyway, um, final word would be forgiveness is hard. It's going to be harder on you than it is going to be on the other person. And I think it's important to remember that you are always doing it for yourself. It's never for anyone else.
Yeah, that is true. No cap, period. But yeah, that is so true. Okay, like anything else you want to add?
Hmm. Actually, let's segue into your life in Estonia. Like, how does your lessons in forgiving yourself played a part in your life over there right now? How have things changed?
Oh, honey. Oh my God. I would
since
like.
since we're already showing the audience what the snowing bit. Oh, we haven't showed the snowing bit. Yes, it's snowing over there, fellow people.
Yeah, it's snowing here. Um, oh God. Now I'm gonna need some time to think about it. It's just actually like when I moved here, I was still in my isolation mode or like I love my own company mindset. So I don't really look to make new friends because I'm like, I'm happy to be alone. I like being in my own company. Like I keep on saying this, but now that I feel like it's not gonna benefit me that much because it's a new country, new people I need to surround with, a new language and culture that I have to blend in with and learn. So if I'm just gonna isolate myself, I'm like, um, how am I
Mm,
gonna, how am I gonna integrate into this society? And I start to think like it's okay that previously I always thought that because people say so much about me being an inconvenience in their life, I don't want to place those inconveniences upon other people. So I tend to be like, you know what, I'll just do things on my own. But I'm like, I just so like how, back to the like this forgiveness word, I start to think like, okay, just forgive those people for what they say because they don't know what they are doing, and because they are so confined within a small space and community, they only know about what they are um, exposed to. So that's why they say what they say, like I'm an inconvenient and whatsoever. But I'm like, here people actually love to help. Now I'm learning like Estonian, right? For example, I try not to be so hard on myself for not knowing this, like not learning this language any faster, because this language is very challenging to learn, to be honest. And um, whenever I go somewhere, I'd always try to communicate in their language with the little Estonian that I know. And the people here, they are always so helpful and so encouraging. So I love the community here. It's amazing. And I am not so hard on myself anymore. Like, I try not to think of all those things that were said to me previously. And I just believe that I am not an inconvenience to people. And I'm just another human being who needs other people to thrive as well. I can be alone, but being around other people can help me thrive and will help me thrive. And I can explore new friendships. There's no problem. So I try to um, make peace with the fact that back where I was raised and where I grew up, people just don't understand the people just don't understand how, human works, I think, like how we're supposed to operate and everything. So they just know from what they are used to. And yeah, and to be honest, I have never felt more confident in my life since I got here. Here, I'm like, I can just be myself, like fully be myself. Like my temperament, for example, like I just say things as it is. Like I don't hide. Like yeah, and it's okay for me to also explore new things without worrying about what other people say about me, because I understand more now. And yeah, if you can't tell, I'm very at peace with myself now.
Oh, just to interject, I can absolutely tell, like, ladies and gentlemen, like this woman, I've known her for, I think, a good enough amount of time, but ever since she moved to Estonia, like, no, I seriously mean this, by the way. You're so much more open emotionally than you once were, like you glow. You
Thanks.
glow in an even better way. So,
Yeah, thanks. I feel that too. I feel very alive in my heart because like all the baggage that I carried in the past, and like I leave it there. Let it get lost in the mail. But yeah. But
wow.
Pooja, like I think for you, you're still young. There's still enough room to explore things. But yeah, like take all those life experiences, except for the good ones. Like take all of those like a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
I
I
think
agree.
that's so good. And have
And
fun. Have fun.
yes, absolutely. Like you're only in your 20s once. Experience everything that you
Yeah.
can. I try to remind myself this all the time. And
Yeah.
just to draw like a parallel between your life in Estonia, I'm still in Malaysia. Like I'm still in the place I was born at. Nothing much has
Hmm.
changed around me, but I feel that similar to what you're doing over there, I feel this need to put myself in like unknown situations, places that I've not been before. Even if the environment is still the same, there are people that I've not met, maybe events that I've not gone to. When
Yeah.
you are in those spaces, I feel like the more people don't know you, the freer you are. I think it's the same with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm finding the courage to put myself out there right now, lah. So it's a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. And for real, those kind of actions or places that you're going, the actions that you are doing, it can really sorry, it can really help moving on uh, easier for a person. It has happened to me. I think it's also a universal thing that when you expose yourself to new situations and experiences, it will help you grow much more maturely and wisely. And it will be easier for you to move on from things that, yeah, move on from your past. That's the easier word, generally, yeah.
Amen. I agree with that.
Yeah. And I really love that you also found your people now because
I know.
you're definitely having fun with your life. I'm like, damn, Pooja is out there now. She goes hiking. Yeah.
Just subtle flex and all.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
It is. So, like, what was the next thing we were going to talk about? Oh, I was introduced to this concept called evil eyes.
Ah,
It's something that I've known
yeah.
for a long time. Like I've told you this before, right? Like as an Indian, okay guys, like I'm actually Indian. And the lighting is the problem here. I'm brown. But anyway, when I was younger, back in Tamil school, we all the girls used to wear this black dot on our forehead. It's called a bindi. In Tamil, it's called puttu. So it's supposed to protect us from evil eyes, which means if someone is wishing ill upon you, it'll make sure that you are protected, that evil stays away.
Mhm.
But in the less religious context, how do you think that applies to you, Asma?
Um, okay. I always look at evil eye as a religious thing. Okay. So it's because it's something that is preached also by the religion, and it's been talked about in the story of the prophets that this evil eye happens even within your own circle, your own siblings. Touch wood, it would have ever happened to mine, but that has been how stories are, and there are certain people out there that is affected by evil eyes that are placed upon them from their siblings. So um yeah, so for me, like, evil eye is basically just you with really good intentions wanting to achieve something, but people give some kind of like backhanded compliment, and in their heart they're like, you're not gonna get this or like achieve this kind of things that you want, whatever, out of pure jealousy. So that's how evil eye will like take place, because they might do like some kind of like black magic or voodoo shit on you or something. So yeah, but I do had this conversation with my friend, like one of my friend, and she mentioned that she doesn't believe in evil eye because she thinks that if you believe in something, you give it power. And to be honest, I do agree with that. I'm like, wow, it's like an amazing thing to say. But at the same time, like I mentioned, that I look at this in a very religious point of view. And yeah, to be honest, like I wanted to say like my story about evil eye. I told this I said about this like so many times, but previously I had like friends that whenever I say something, I can never achieve those things. And I'm like, what the heck? And then like I just experiment with telling this person about like things that I want to achieve in life and whatsoever, or like places that I'm going. It always ended up so bad. Whenever I talk about relationship, I always ended up fighting. I'm like, it's this person. This person's giving me evil eye. Cut her off. Cut her off. So,
Friends.
so yeah.
I get it.
But yeah.
I think for me, evil eyes, like in an everyday context, I feel it sometimes when I post things on Instagram. I'm not a very frequent poster lah. Like I'm pretty private as a person. But sometimes when I am going through like a really joyous event, I post a picture, suddenly the next day something bad happens. I used to think it was a coincidence, but it kept happening over and over again. And after that, I decided to limit the post a little bit. It went away, but I would say be careful, lah, especially for people
Yeah.
who post a lot out there. Maybe wait a
Yeah.
day until the thing is over, then post it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Like once you achieve the things that you say you want to do, then you cannot tell about it because or else it's just not gonna affect everything around you. But yeah, you're right.
And just one more thing, like if you believe in evil eye and you want to lessen the impact on it, maybe try to limit your followers as well. Granted, you're not an influencer. Say if you're just a normal person like me, I mean, you're not going to
Yeah.
count Asma. Asma's turning into like a YouTube star. She's on her way
I
already.
mean,
I mean, but for the rest of us, maybe you'd like to consider who is really your friend and who isn't.
oh
Because
yeah,
I don't
true,
think the
true.
follower count is that important now. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, that is true. Like you mentioned, like now I'm, trying to be an influencer and everything, trying to make content. And I don't really talk about my private. Like I I try to put boundaries between what I'm gonna share, and my private life is not one of them. So like my partners or my family, things like that, I don't really, post that on the internet unless it's like the account where it's like, oh, these are a bunch of my friends, so they're allowed to see like my story and everything. But otherwise, I'm like, no, I'm not sharing this on the internet. It's just way too personal for me. And yeah, some people, I don't know why, but like some people just cannot see you happy. Like, why? Why do you have to be so miserable? Then you're putting other people into this kind of issues that you yourself are the problem. I'm so that sounds so
No, no,
mean,
no.
but
Be as petty as you want. I was going to be like, yes, girl. I completely understand. Just going to gas you
yeah.
up.
Yeah, so that's
No,
it,
but
I think.
when you think
Yeah.
about it, right, these people who say these nasty things, they wouldn't say that to you in real life.
Mm-mm.
Just
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
there's a screen in between them, they think they can get away saying whatever they want.
mm-hmm.
So it's always best to protect yourself anyway, lah. That's just what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Like, say it on my face. You have a problem with me? Say it on my face. No, not say it on my face. Say it to my face.
Say it
Say
on
it
your
on my.
face.
She's like, okay, say it to my face. Okay, face me. And yeah, so like okay, I'm Muslim, right? So my culture. Like in my culture, black magic shit and voodoo shit is like very, very popular, and it's a normal thing. People do it. Like if they're jealous of you, they'll be like, I'm gonna like learn. I'm gonna like do some black magic things on you, and they will like take your photos and like, oh, it's like crazy. Yeah,
Oh,
and yeah, I'm not kidding. I have seen it. I have heard the conversation growing up. I'm like, if you want to be now, if you don't like the person to be more successful than you, let's black magic her, or like let's black magic him, or like put something under their house. And I'm like, and I 100% believe the house that my late mom newly built is freaking haunted and was black magic. So yeah,
okay, okay, hold
because
on. Oh, sorry, you were going to go on. Say it. Say it. I
yeah,
was going to
no,
ask you why.
because I was about to explain. Because like in that house, my siblings and I, we always argue, but whenever we are outside the house, we're like so peaceful and everything. So it's like this is just not right. So, oh yeah, and we also like have this belief that there are people who can, see this kind of thing. So yeah, there were like some experiences where my brother was like, oh, he had a friend who never even been to that house, and I was like saying, hey, you have something in that, and he knows like what's in inside our house. He knows. He's never stepped foot into it. My brother has never shared anything about the house. And he would be like, hey, like you have this kind of thing in your house at the back in your kitchen, because like we have kind of like big kitchen in the house. So he actually specifically just like list the things that is in our house. And we're like, and my brother was like, I don't know how he knows because he's never been there. My brother never talked about it, and like, oh God, that is just creepy. I read the message and I
Oh,
was like, that's creepy as fuck.
that is really creepy. If you know
Yeah.
any one of these people, just send their contacts my way for research purposes. Nothing else. Just saying. Oh God.
Oh yeah, it's my brother's friend, and I was like, yeah. Well, he was telling it to us in like early in the morning, and we're like, "What's your problem?" I'm like, "Why telling this? That's so creepy."
That is so creepy. But I mean, since the both
Yeah.
of us, we are Malaysians, at least we are both born in the country. I think we both know that
Yeah.
black magic thing is very prevalent. Like, I'm not going to say within the Malay community, just the Malay community, but we all have it. It's just,
Like Southeast Asian, I think. It's a
I think
Southeast
all of us
Asian
have,
thingy.
right?
Yeah.
I find it creepy. I've had one experience with it, not myself, but a family member. So this was an uncle of mine. He owns this company. I'm not going to name any names. Big seat MNC. So he was about to broker a big deal with this other firm lah. And shortly before that happened, people say that there was black magic involved because one day he went home, he started like convulsing. His eyes started turning white, like it went back in his head, and he just froze, like he went paralyzed. And this I only knew about after a couple of years. No one knew what happened. They had to take him to the witch doctor to get him sorted, to get him fixed. And that's when they knew who did it, how they did it. And I just found it so insane, you know? It's a
Ah,
dangerous thing, especially in the world of business, I feel,
yeah.
because not everyone's
Oh,
intention is pure, you know? You have to be really careful,
yeah.
not just social media, just in real life.
Oh, it's so scary. Like it's so freaking scary. Oh God.
I know,
Like
and
in
it's all
the
bad.
in
I'm so
Pooja.
brave saying this right now.
Yeah, I was like, Pooja. I am not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna make you scared. You live
Don't say
alone.
anything.
I live alone? No, okay, I have friends. You have friends too, so don't worry, okay? Um, well, that's creepy. Oh no, I cannot not think about that. But yeah, like why? Like in the internet, we have like haters just commenting shit, but like in real life, people are just like, I'm gonna poison you with like some witchcraft black magic. Ew. Uh, be careful,
But
Pooja. Be careful. Yeah, you were
I will
saying.
do that. I have nothing to worry about. I mean, touch wood, but
That's
I feel like the people around me, my neighbors are very religious. Like every hour you can see someone praying, you can hear it upstairs, downstairs, side by side. I'm good, I'm protected.
yeah, thank God.
But I'm just curious, what causes these people to go to such extreme lengths to hurt someone else? Like what do they feel as they're doing it? What do you think?
I wish I have the answer to that because I genuinely wonder the same thing. I do not know. I do not know. Like, I genuinely do not know. Like, why? It's a question that I have been asking for the longest time that I know. Like, I just don't understand why. Why, if you are, if you think that, oh, the person is so successful, why don't you just work hard as them and pray to God? Like, you know, like, I think you understand the concept of rizki, right? Like blessings. Everybody has that, and I don't know. I really don't know. But
Mm.
like,
I
yeah, yeah, you were saying.
No, I think part of it has to do with just jealousy,
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna say I have personal experience. Like I've never done black magic on anyone, just a disclaimer. I never would. But
Yeah.
when you are jealous towards someone, especially someone that you are close to and that you like, I know it's a paradox because if you love someone, you shouldn't be jealous of them, right?
Mhm.
And none of us are perfect. We're all human. We feel jealousy sometimes for no particular reason, you know? But I think it's important to not act on it now. Maybe take a step back, think about what you're feeling, and try to come to terms with it, Make peace with
Mhm.
it.
Forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself. See, there we go.
Yeah.
We're connecting to
Yeah.
things now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But that's a very good question because I generally don't know the answer to that. Yeah, jealousy is a thing. But like you said, we shouldn't take action on that. If we're jealous, then work hard, you know. Everybody has their own blessing. If the blessing is meant for you and it has been written for you, nobody in the world can take it. So just work hard, right?
It's
So,
that easy, but I think some people they don't have the patience for it. So they try to take shortcuts, which is
ah,
not great. It's not a good thing to do because in my experience, I have made shortcuts in my life and I found that when I get to achieving that goal without putting all of my effort into it, you don't feel happy once you get it. It's just my
yeah,
experience.
yeah, no sense of satisfaction as well. Because like, yeah, you'll start to feel like you don't deserve it or something at one point. But yeah, that's a
Yeah.
nice conversation to have, Pooja. I like it. We're like almost an hour like now. So, oh gosh. We like covered two topics today and we can relate it to each other. I like
I know, right?
it. Yeah.
You should do radio, Asma. You really should.
Uh, I should do radio. Like, did you hear how I speak? Like, my words are all over.
Yes.
Okay, like I'm still practicing. I'm still trying to make my speech recognition become more perfect. Not
Speech
perfect, like
recognition. You're saying it's like you're an AI, speech recognition.
maybe I am. You never know. But yeah, so I'm just still practicing on that part. And I think we can like cover close today's podcast conversation. I had fun. Oh god, the topic about evil eye really makes me feel a little bit like goosebumpy. Oh, this is like a scary topic to talk about, but yeah. So we're gonna end this. Do you have anything else to add?
Nope, I'm good. I had so much fun talking to you. I hope we can do this
Yeah,
again.
yeah, let's do. We'll do like this. Pooja, what is this behavior?
Yeah.
You
Uh,
want it? You know you want
oh my God, no. Where's
it.
my broom? I need to go get my broom just to break it in half.
Okay. All right, Pooja, you want to do the outro?
Okay. Um, so this is Pooja and
This is Asma.
signing out.
Ciao, ciao. Oh, I say ciao in every video that I say. Like when I say like bye, I say like ciao.
Oh wow,
Okay, let's
so
do it together.
Italian.
Let's do it together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, ciao.
Yeah. Goodbye.